We're finally doing this. Hello! This is Lindsay Dinzer, my name is Lindsay Penn, and this is the music video show. A lot of people want to watch music videos, but nobody wants to pay for them. We live in an age right now where we have torrents. Nobody really wants to spend money on them, because nobody really has to. And yet there's still all this pressure because the demand is so high. So how do we solve this problem? In order for us to tackle this issue, we first need to clarify what is the purpose of a music video? The easiest answer is it's commercials for the record, but blah blah blah. More than that, a music video is created to create a relationship between you and the artist. The music videos give you an impression of who that artist is. It's an establishment of branding. You have a relationship with Justin Bieber. You do. It might not be a good relationship. It might be a kind of unhealthy relationship. Maybe he doesn't call you. The process is clearly working. So why is no one winning? Two major conflicts. Item number one is the freeness. We expect music videos for free, and nobody can undercut free because it's like the definition of free. What most people say who enjoy the freeness, they justify it by going, it's advertising, it's advertising. Well, come on. It's only effective advertising if you're buying the records. And are you really buying the records, or are you going to Pirate Bay and downloading them? It's just, everybody's stealing is what I'm trying to say. The second item, which might surprise you, is popularity. Here's how popularity is screwing us. The problem with the internet is that on the internet you choose your own path. With television, images are constantly being thrown at you that you didn't choose, therefore you're gonna get exposed to things you've never seen. With the internet, you're more likely to go up and look up things you already know about. Because of the freeness principle, in order for music video distributors to make money, they have to have advertisers. Advertisers are going to want to advertise on content that is popular. Therefore, these websites, using Vivo as an example, is going to show you what's popular before it's going to show you what's new. It creates a vicious cycle. We see things that we already know over and over and over again, and it's really hard for newer artists to break through that barrier. Just as much as we want to see new artists, labels want to show us new artists, so that's why it screws everybody. Yeah! My name is Lindsay Penn and I'm from Texas, and today we're gonna talk about stereotypes and niche marketing. It's 2010 and a whole lot of really different people are mixed together in a way that the world has never seen before. Atheists and gays and dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. With all of that, people are getting really emotionally attached to their little groups. The pop music industry is really cashing in on your emotional attachment to your little niche. People identify themselves by their subculture and they take a lot of pride in it, and that sounds wonderful. Until you think about these two problematic aspects of it. Number one, people are focused on their differences from others instead of their similarities. Number two, people are defining themselves based on chance and not by their merits or accomplishments.
There's not a number three.
No.
Oh.
You wanted me to jump at you again? I can do that anyway. The problem is, if you market yourself to a minority group, you sure do got that minority group by the cojones. But you box yourself in and you exclude the majority. You build a wall around yourself and the people that are outside of that wall can see it. And when they see it, they think, gee, that person doesn't want me around. So you fall into this contradiction. You want people outside to appreciate you, but you won't break down that wall and let them in. 90% of a person's brain is going to be occupied with their own lives, their career, their family, their jobs, their physiological needs. That only leaves 10% to fill with every culture and subculture on the planet. Of course they're gonna put your little group into some little stereotype bubble. The human brain, throughout our lifespan, just isn't Hermione's beaded handbag. Give them a break. Is the idol industry evil? As fans, we really hate when people tell us that the media is affecting us in a negative way. We hear it all the time. TV is making us more violent. TV is making 13-year-old girls dress like strippers, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, and we always say the exact same stuff over and over in response. It's the parents' jobs to raise the kids, the FCC is full of crap, and freedom of speech, and blah 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 blah, and none of us will admit the ugly truth. If you send a message out to millions of people, sorry, you gotta take responsibility for that message. Study after study have shown how much media can and does warp your brain. People really don't like this for two reasons. Number one, it implies that you don't have complete control over how you feel about the world, and it also says that you can't create and consume anything you want whenever you want. Here in America in particular, we are raised with firm beliefs about all kinds of freedom, particularly freedom of speech. So we don't like hearing, you can't do that on television. We cry out, you're impeding on our rights! But take note of what I'm about to say, because I have a feeling that it's gonna come up on this show a lot. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean it is the right thing to do. So what does this have to do with idols? Well, I'm glad you asked. First off, I've hung out with Korean dudes before. Not one of them looked or acted anything like a Korean idol. Secondly, everything that I'm saying just as easily applies to Twilight or Justin Bieber. There are no real men on earth that will give you the fantasy that you get from Edward Cullen, Justin Bieber, or any idol boy band. If you don't believe it's true, find me one. And I know what you're thinking. Who cares if it's realistic? It's supposed to be entertainment. It's all about fantasy. I know that's the argument and approach I've always taken. But here's where things get a little darker and more twisted. How many fangirls have never had a boyfriend before? How many fangirls would go nuts if their idol was in a relationship? This is where we have to compound the advent of the internet with the same fandom stuff that we've had going on since the 50s. There was a time when teenage girls would go crazy over their idols, but then they would grow up, grow out of it, get married, and get a life. But now, in 2010, with the speed of YouTube and Twitter, you can constantly take a hit of your idol fantasy. Why should you deal with the heartbreak, discomfort, and disappointment that comes with trying to get a real relationship when your fantasy man is always a click away? The only thing missing is physical proximity, but let's face it, a lot of the time, that need can be satisfied with a good fanfic and some manual assistance, if you catch my drift. I'm talking about masturbation. Nowadays, we have full-grown women in their 20s, 30s, and even sometimes their 40s that are totally naive with how to communicate with an actual man. That means that it's possible that we have an entire industry dedicated to feeding off of the loneliness of miserable women. And they're training really talented young men on how to capitalize on this loneliness and portray themselves as unrealistic ideals. It's diabolical. And in Korea, this training begins at a really young age. I mean, can you imagine living your life that way? So fangirls, think carefully. Do you really like these idols because you love the videos and the music? Or are you using them to satisfy a more primal need without the risk of negative consequences? Alone with a showerhead? Get dumped. Alone with a showerhead? Get rejected. Showerhead. And TVXQ. Alright.